This security awareness training covers phishing, or how hackers fish for victims. It is often easier to trick people who already have access to a computer than it is to hack into the computer itself. For example, to steal money from a bank, a criminal might trick a dozen of the bank's customers into making withdrawals, rather than attacking the bank's computers themselves. Since the cost of sending electronic messages like email is basically free, hackers use them to find new victims. Hackers' messages will often make outrageous claims or tell you something is wrong to get your attention. For example, hackers often use fake account closed, friend request or free money messages to lure people. In fact, this approach is where the term phishing comes from. When hackers fish for their victims using enticing messages as baits, security experts call it phishing with a PH. This training will teach you how to identify and avoid phishing messages. It will also teach you when and how to report or verify suspicious messages. Hackers will do anything they can to grab your attention. They may send alarming messages such as, "Your account has been cancelled" or "Money withdrawn, please confirm." They may send outrageous messages such as, "See who lost £50 in 6 weeks." Or they may send tempting offers such as, "Free rentals, 80% off," or "You won the international lottery. Please contact me to collect $10 million. Phishing attacks try to get you to reveal private information, lower your defenses, or to help attack other targets. Phishing attacks usually ask you to click links that go to hackers' websites, download dangerous files, fill out personal forms, or reply to the message with private information. Like phishing messages, many legitimate messages contain links or URLs. Fortunately, you can often tell phishing links from safe links by learning how the two are different. Before we cover the difference between safe and phishing links, an explanation of the two parts of a link is needed. First, there is the part of the link you see. This part tells you where the link is supposed to go. Then, there is the part of the link that you don't see. This is the actual address or URL that controls where the link will actually go. Hackers often exploit the difference between what you see and what you don't see in the links they send in their phishing attacks. Fortunately, you can inspect the URLs behind most links by moving your mouse over a link and waiting for its URL to appear. In this example, Grandma's cookie recipe links to an odd URL. Always be wary of URLs that contain numbers, misspellings, and odd endings. Phishing links are often suspicious in additional ways. To understand these, you need to be able to identify the most important part of the URL, the host name, which is found right after the HTTP or HTTPS. Host names control which web server you connect to. Having the right host name means the difference between accessing a legitimate server or one under the control of a hacker. The most obvious type of suspicious host names are those filled with numbers. For example, host names containing IP or other network addresses, host names that seem to add extra numbers, and host names that replace letters with numbers. Other suspicious host names contain subtle spelling mistakes. For example, host names that are just one letter away from legitimate host names, and host names that end in unusual names. You should delete all phishing messages on site. If you see a coworker or friend receive a phishing message, you should also encourage them to delete it immediately. If you receive a tailored phishing message that makes it seem like the sender knows specific information about you, your family, or your employer, you may be a target of a sophisticated spear phishing attack. Spear phishing occurs when a hacker personalizes a phishing message to appeal to specific people. Spear phishing's personalized messages often include information that their targets would think only another employee, friend, or family member would know. Examples include projects, teams, co-workers and their titles, and names of family members. However, the internet, and especially social media, has made it easy for hackers to look up personal details like these. In many cases, just looking at someone's LinkedIn or Facebook profiles will give a hacker enough information to craft a spear phishing message. Let's look at an example of a spear phishing attack. This attack, like most spear phishing attacks, is well targeted and quite effective. This spear phishing email was sent to Hannah from someone claiming to be her manager, and it asks her to upload a sensitive document regarding a government contract to her website. If you cannot determine whether a message is phishing or not, you may try to contact the sender to verify it. However, you should never use any of the communications methods suggested by a suspicious message to verify its contents. Instead, use a pre-existing channel, such as the company's main website, an email address from a previous thread, or the phone number printed on the back of your credit card to contact the possible sender. Over the past few minutes, you learned how to identify and avoid phishing messages, and when to report or verify suspicious messages. Please review or print these takeaways.